All right, welcome back to another video for a new drive-by-drive college football game that I'm developing. And no official name for it yet, but if you have any suggestions, you can leave them down in the comments. Thinking along the line of including the word drive in some way, because it is a drive-by-drive football game. So if you haven't seen this before, this is the game engine chart for it. And essentially everything you need to play the game is right here. I'll be replaying the first 3 games of the Miami Hurricanes 1987 season, and they went on to go 12-0 and win the championship against Oklahoma. And this is a murderer's row of first games. They have number 20, Florida at home to start the year. Then they go to Arkansas, number 10, and then they go to number 4, Bobby Bowden's FSU Seminoles, who Miami would give them their only loss of the year that year. The schedule gets a little softer, and then their last 3 games are just crazy, including the win over the number 1 Sooners in the Orange Bowl. So just a quick recap of the game. We're going to use these 2 dice here to have a 2 to 20 roll that's going to be for our injuries and penalties. We're going to use our Miami dice here with the orange and green. Those are going to give us the drive results or the key play. There's going to be some choices in here. So do we run the ball or do we do a trick play like a flea flicker? Sort of a risk-reward opportunities. This tells us about our drive modifiers. So that's sort of done beforehand here with Miami getting a +1 because they're a top 10 versus a ranked team, so they get a +1, and then Florida is the away team, so they're going to get a -1. This is just to mark what the play is, just kind of help me remember because I'm looking over here too. All right, so let's get started. We're going to go with black and white. Let's do black for the home team, white for the visiting team, and we'll see which one has the higher roll. That's going to be the home team. So Miami's going to get the ball first, and that's all I'm doing to determine that. And then coming out in the second half, it'll be Florida getting the ball first. So basically, we're going to roll all these. We'll check for penalties and injuries. We'll check what our play is, and then we'll just figure it out from there. Pretty easy to play. And each game takes 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how much time you take to make decisions. Right off the bat, we get a 16, so you can see a 2, 5, 17, or 20 is where we're going to have something going on here. So we can basically ignore those dice. We get a 10. That's going to be a blitz on 3rd and short. And we're looking at, let's look at the green die. That one's easy to see, so we'll designate that as our sort of secondary role. Defensive stop. And the drive results in a punt. It's worth noting Miami won this game 31-4. So, I guess there were 2 safeties. Strange sort of thing going on there, but Florida gets their first possession. 16, again, no penalty, a 9. You know what? We should go back and do this other one first. Okay, so it was not a 10, but an 11. I forgot the +1. So let me just backtrack on that. We're gonna go for the field goal. Miami is not gonna settle. So 1 to 4, the field goal is made. We're looking at the green die, and that's gonna be a field goal missed. So same result with a 0. But it's not a punt. Okay, so let's go to the next roll with Florida. We have a 6. 6 is nothing. And a 7 becomes a 6. 2nd and 4 from midfield. Do we run it? Or do we go for the flea flicker? I think we need to run the ball on the road. A 7. We're going to run for a first down, and we get another roll. 13 is nothing. 10 becomes 9. 1st and 10. Do we pass deep or short? Let's go short. A 9. On a short pass, that's going to end with a punt. So This game gives you a little bit of agency while keeping you within some guidelines. 11 is nothing for Miami. 11 becomes 12. Sack on third down sets up a 42-yard attempt. A 2 is going to be up and good, so Miami on the board. With a field goal, they take a 3-0 lead at home against the Florida Gators. 16 again. They get a 14, becomes 13. Red zone trip ends with a chip shot field goal. And that's going to end the first quarter tied at 3. Miami will come out for their first second quarter drive. We get a 13. 10 becomes 11. That's another, gets to the edge of the field goal range. This is a defensive battle. Let's go ahead and punt it. So it's going to be down inside the 5-yard line. We don't need to do anything. So punt. And then Florida is going to get a -1 to this roll. So the -1 to the next drive. So that's to Florida. And they're going to have a -2 overall. So 11. Sorry, that's an 11. And 11. 11's everywhere. 11 becomes 9. So do they pass deep or short? They're going to go for a deep ball here. So let's see. A 9. It is an interception. So turnover on the deep pass as Miami intercepts the ball. Defensive struggle here. 3-3 is our score. 9 is going to be nothing. A 4 becomes a 5. That's a quick 3 and out. And what that does is really nothing since it's here on the last drive. So basically just a punt. That's the best time to have a 3 and out. And Florida is going to get the ball. Since you're backed up with time, there's not really a way to simulate that. So 9. 13 becomes 12. 12 is a sack on third down. 1-6, the field goal will be good. It's a 7, and that is a missed field goal attempt. So a lot of missed opportunities here in the first half, and Florida is going to get the ball first coming out of halftime. The score is tied at 3. Score tied at 3. We get a 14. That's nothing on our injuries and penalties. We get a 15. 15 becomes 14. Quarterback hurried on third and long. We'll roll a D10 for the play result. We're looking at the green. Quarterback is sacked. Team settles for a short field goal. So Florida comes out and puts 3 points on the board in their first game. Miami coming up. Let's see if they have something big. They have a +1 in this game. 10 + 1 is 11. We have an 11 there. 9-play drive reaches the edge of field goal range. Let's try to kick the field goal. 1-4, it will be made. It's a 2, and that's going to be up and in as they tie the ball game at 3. So we got a slugfest here in Miami. 6-6, our score, lower scoring than we would expect. 11. 10 becomes 9. First and 10. Do we pass deep or short? We're going to go deep. We got burned last time, but we'll see if they can score. 1-6. Oh, no, that's another pick. So Florida with the INT, second one of the game. And let's see if Miami can capitalize on that. They cannot. Still terrible execution. No injuries or penalties, though. 7 becomes 8. 4th and 2. Do we quarterback sneak and roll again? Or is it a pass? A catch and run for a long TD. The opposite is an interception. Well, let's go for the pass. We're going to go for the jugular. Jimmy Johnson says, let's do it. So we have 4th and 2, the snap. They're going to fake. They're going to hand off. Nope, they're going to fake. It's play action. The ball is up in the air. It's a 3, and that's going to be a catch and run for a long TD pass. And for the first time, someone has hit pay dirt in this game as Miami pulls ahead by a score of 13-6. 13-6. And that was the last play of the third quarter. We go to the fourth quarter. I'm well aware that they play halves back in the day, but just kind of going along with the theme here of the game already. You could do first half, second half, either way. An 11 becomes a 10. A blitz on third down, and that will be a defensive stop. Results in a punt. So Florida being manhandled in this game. Miami with another opportunity. They lead by a score of 13-6. That's not a big roll. 6 becomes 7. 8-play drive. Dies near midfield. Let's roll a D10 for the result. A 3 is going to be just a normal punt. Florida with their last opportunity. They get a chance to drive. They have a -1. 12 becomes 11. 10 is nothing over here. So in 11, do they take the long field goal or punt? They got to go for the field goal. So 1-4, it's going to be made. It's an 8, and so another field goal missed. So they've left 6 points on the field. They have 2 turnovers, and Miami, barring rolling a 2 with the pick 6, they're going to win this game. So we have a 10, a 9 becomes a 10. That's a blitz on third down. And a 10 is going to be a defensive stop. So we'll call it a turnover on downs, and that's going to end the game. So Miami comes through. They win this one by a score of 13-3. Not as robust, let's say, as they played in real life. But they do come out with a victory. And they are going to go to Arkansas in game number 2. So let's see who gets the first possession, Miami or Arkansas. Remember, black is the home team. It will be Miami getting the ball first. No real advantage there other than you get the last drive. All right, first up, 6 is nothing. A 4, we should do there. So they're going to get a +1, and then they're going to get a -1. So this is even Steven. Fumble in the red zone. If we roll a 1, then we're going to get a fumble return for a TD. We're reading the green die. It's not going to be that as Miami drives down and fumbles. And they are not hitting on all cylinders, we should say. 6 is nothing. 19, though. 19 to Arkansas. That's going to be an outside run. Goes the distance. A long touchdown run for the Razorbacks. Puts them up 6-0. And a 5 is going to be good extra points. They go up 7-0 here in the first half. Finally, a big roll here for Miami. They get an 18. 18 is going to be a flag thrown on a 40-yard TD pass. So let's roll our D10 and assign the penalty. It's a 1. The penalty's on the offense. There's no TD, so they call it back. The drive result is going to be a field goal, though. So Miami gets on the board here in the first half with a field goal. That was a big opportunity for them through the cracks. And Arkansas holds on as they stop them for a field goal. 16, nothing there. 18, another big play. This is another TD pass with a flag thrown. A 6, this time the penalty is on the defense. That's going to be declined, and the result is a TD pass. So they've had a couple of long, big plays. Have the Arkansas Razorbacks here at home, and the home field advantage coming through for them. 10, that's going to be extras. So 14-3 is our score as Miami finds themselves down to the Razorbacks. This could be a big game here. 10, blitz on third down. And that's going to be a 7. That's a defensive stop. And they force a Miami punt. Arkansas with the ball and a 14-point lead. No, 11-point lead. It's a 14, and the quarterback is hurried. That's a 4, so nothing. Quarterback is hurried on 3rd and long. Let's see what happens. It's an 8. He's sacked, and they have to settle for a field goal. So I guess I should put that over here. So field goal, and it's now 17-3. So 2 touchdown lead for Arkansas as Miami with their last drive of the first half. 18, big time. As we get a 13 on the injury penalty roll, we get an 18 here. Let's see, 5-10, it'll be a touchdown. It's a touchdown as the penalties on the defense, they will decline and take that big touchdown to, let's say, Michael Irvin. The PAT is good. And Miami fights back. They're within a touchdown. And Arkansas with their last drive of the half. A big one. Oh, it's a 2. So an offensive injury, -1 drives for the rest of the half. So that's not going to count on this one. And because it's the end of the half, it's not really going to do much for them. So 15 will be an up-tempo drive. They get a TD pass on a seam route as Arkansas ripping in this one. And they put up 10 here at the back half, and they've got a 24-10 lead as they're up by 2 touchdowns over the Miami Hurricanes. They're also going to get the ball out of the halftime. All right, and 11, they come back down to earth a little bit. Are they going to punt, or are they going to try the long field goal? I think they're going to need, let's go ahead and do the conservative thing. We'll punt. So Miami will receive a -1 on this next drive as they start from deep in their own territory. A 10, blitz on 3rd down. 14 is nothing. So is it a fumble or a defensive stop? It is a fumble. So they send the blitz, and they cause the fumble. That's going to turn over the Miami Hurricanes. That's 2 fumbles in the game for Miami. And a 6 to the Arkansas offense. Are they going to run? Let's do the run. It's 1-8 is a first down. A 9-10 would be a fumble return for TD. So we'll see. Oh, almost. But they get the first down, so they're going to roll again. Miami needs something huge like that. 7 is going to be an 8-play drive near midfield. This will be, it dies near midfield. So we got a chance for a punt block or a punt return TD, a 1 or a 10. Oh, it's another 8. They keep flirting with that 10. But that's going to be a punt. And Miami will get the ball back. They're down. They're down about 2 scores. They're going to need something big to happen here in the next few drives. A 6 is not going to be that big thing unless they got to go for the flea flicker. So the trick play 1-3 is a passing TD. 4-10 is going to be an interception. It's a 10, and that's going to be a pick as Miami is pulling out the entire kitchen sink, trying to make something happen against these tough Razorbacks. Arkansas up 24-10 at home against the vaunted Miami Hurricane offense. 7 is going to be nothing. 8, 4th and 2. Let's go for the quarterback sneak. 7 is going to be a first down, and we roll again. And 8, we get the same choice, but we have a 17. That's going to be a defensive penalty. Because we know it's a penalty, let's go for the pass. If he is a 1-4, we'll decline it and take the touchdown. If it's an interception, we'll take the penalty. It's a 2. That's going to be a long catch and TD. So TD pass for 6 yards, and Arkansas destroying the Miami Hurricanes at home as neither team scored here in the third. And it's now 31-10, which is basically the reverse of the actual score. Miami with the ball. A 12 is not going to do much. Sack on third down. Leads to a 42-yard attempt. 1-6 is good. It is going to be another missed field goal for Miami. And they have not played well here. Let's see what happens when they go to Florida State. That's a tough one. 9, 1st and 10. So we have a 9 here. That's nothing. We have a 1st and 10. Do we go pass, short, or deep? We're going to go short. And the worst that can happen is a punt. We get a 7-yard catch on 1st and 10. The drive is going to end in a field goal as Miami tacks on one more score here. Arkansas and Miami with the last chance here. 13 red zone trip ends with a field goal. Too little, too late. As they are going to come up woefully short. So 13 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 28 plus 6 is 34, 13. As the Arkansas Razorbacks lay it on the Miami Hurricanes, the undefeated season is not going to happen. All right, and another tough one. So this is going to be an even up matchup. Actually, it's a -1 to Miami. So neither team on a top 10 versus top 10. There's no bonus. And then the visiting team gets a -1. So Miami's going to have to overcome a -1 against FSU. Let's see who has the advantage. Home team is going to get the ball first. So a 4 is nothing. We have a 12 to FSU. Sack on third down. That leads to a 42-yard field goal attempt. 9 is going to be no good. So Miami survives, and they get the ball. Let's see if they can roll a little bit higher in this game. They will not. A 5 becomes a 4. There's a fumble in the red zone on a promising drive. 1 is a fumble return for a TD. Otherwise, the momentum goes over to the other team, and they get a +1 on their next drive. It's a 2, so there's a fumble. It's actually the best you could hope for Miami in that situation. But FSU gets a +1 to this drive. So a 13 becomes a 14. We have an 18 there's no 15, so we miss on any of that. Quarterback is hurried. Let's see what the result is. It's a 9. Quarterback is sacked, and they're going to have to settle for a field goal. So FSU takes a 3-0 lead. Bobby Bowden, not happy about that, but points are on the board, and they take a 3-0 lead over Miami. 10 becomes 9. And we have a 9 here. 1st and 10, do we pass deep or short? We're going to go deep. So I believe this is Kozar. Looking deep, 1-6. It's going to be a TD. It's a 10, and that's going to be a pick. So INT for Miami. They get nothing. FSU coming out of the interception with a 3-0 lead, an 8. They're going to get, that's a 5. So 5 is an offensive penalty, which the defense can take the penalty or force a punt. So they're going to so we know we have a penalty. I guess the defense will just go ahead and decide what they want to do. They might as well just take the penalty. So that's going to force a punt. We don't even need to roll for that. Miami with the ball down 3-0 here in the first half. They get a 12. 12 is going to be a sack on third down. That sets up a field goal attempt. 1-6 is good. It's a 1. That's up and in. And that ties the ball game at 3. Sorry, I should go here. Shut out in the first section. Last drive of the first half for FSU. It's a good one. That's going to lead to a chip shot field goal in the red zone. And they'll take a 6-3 lead over Miami. Miami's last drive of the half. 4 becomes 3. 39 from the offense's 37-yard line. Do they pass? If they pass, they'll get a first down and roll again. If not, it's an interception. Or they can run the draw play, which will most likely lead to a punt. There's a small chance they can get a first down. So let's go with the pass, 1-4, and see if they get another roll. It's a 1, and they are going to get another roll. See if Miami can come through in this one. 7 becomes 6. Another choice here. A 5, though, is going to be an offensive penalty. So the defense is going to let this one play out. So let's run the flea flicker and see if we can make. It's going to be an interception. So they'll let this one play out. They'll take the interception. And Miami down here in the first half. They will get the ball back first out of the gate in the second half. Hurricanes 16 finally becomes 15. 2, though, they get an offensive injury, so they're going to be -1 for the rest of the half. So Miami -1 for the half. That's because of this 2 here, so you get an offensive injury. So 16 becomes 15. TD on a seam route, so TD pass for 6. As they finally are able to break it open, and they take a 10-6 lead over Florida State. FSU with the ball. A 12 is going to be a sack. That's going to lead to a field goal attempt. 1-6. It'll be good. It is. It's up and in. As they draw closer, it's now 10-9 Miami. Remember, Miami is going to get a -1, so that makes them a -2 on this drive. 14 becomes a 12. 7 is nothing, so they get a field goal attempt. 1-6 is good, and the field goal is true. As Bobby Bowden's team puts up 10 points here in the third section, what would normally be the third quarter. FSU with 13. That's a red zone trip ending in a field goal. So we get a 2, though, offensive injury. They're going to have a -1. So FSU -1 as well for the rest of the half. And they do get a chip shot field goal, though. So we got 12. So 13-12. And it's an American League score as we head into the final quarter. This one was like 26-25, 26-24, something like that. Oh, boy. We got a 20. 20 -2 is going to be an 18. We have a 10 here, so that doesn't mean anything. Flag thrown on the TD pass, so 1-4 is going to be a field goal. 5-10 will be a TD pass. It's a 7, and that's going to be a long touchdown pass for Miami. And they lead it by a score of 20-12. 20-12. So they're within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, FSU is. Let's see what they do here. FSU in a fight for their lives. A 17 is a defensive penalty, so the offense can take the penalty and roll again, or decline and take the play results. We get an 11. Let's try for the long field goal. We got nothing to lose. 1-4. It's going to be made. It's a 2, and so that's a long field goal. As FSU tries to keep pace with this Miami offense, they're down 20-15 with one drive left for the Hurricanes. Remember, the Hurricanes are down 1 on this roll. And so a 9 becomes an 8. 12 here. 4th and 2. We're going to go play action. They're going to try to put this game away. It will be 1-4. It's going to be a long catch and run TD. It's a 7, and that's going to be a pick. And FSU, with an opportunity, they're down by 5. They need more than a field goal, but they have a -1 on this drive. It's a 12. 12 minus 1 is 11. And a 6 doesn't mean anything here. An 11 is not going to mean anything either. They're going to have to go for the field goal, but it doesn't mean anything, but it's missed anyway. It'll just count toward the final score, and that's going to be the end of this one as Miami wins the game 20-15. So a little bit of a lackluster offensive performance there from the Miami offense, but they do get the win, and they come out of this stretch going 2-1. So they drop one on the road to Arkansas. That was a blowout win in actual life, but here in Arkansas had a long TD pass. Miami missed a field goal. They had a couple of fumbles here. Just kind of rough. They had a long touchdown run and a long touchdown pass here in the first half. Miami came back with a TD pass, but Arkansas hit on one right before the half and kind of put Miami behind the 8 ball for most of the second half. But Miami plays well here. Not a great first half, but then scoring picked up a little bit in the second half. So that is a new drive-by-drive football game. Let me see the bottom there. Drive-by-drive football game. And this is using college, top 25, and non-top 25. So you can see here, top 10 versus a non-ranked team gets a +2. Top 10 versus a ranked team, the top 10 team gets a +1. If you have a ranked versus a non-ranked opponent, they get a +1. And then if they're even, so any non-top 10 versus a non-top 10, or really it's a non-ranked versus non-ranked, or a ranked versus ranked. If they're even, there's no bonus. And then home field advantage is -1 to the visiting team's roll. And these drive modifiers do not apply to the PA2 conversions or a roll of a 2, which a roll of a 2, you can see here, is a pick 6, and the defense takes it to the house. So that's sort of a rare play. If you would like to play this game, you can send me an email to clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com, clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to send you those files. Really, it's this file, and then there's a more basic version here. So this more basic version here is more just kind of sitting back and watching what happens. There are some split results, and some of them are the same. But there's no choices, like a fumble in the red zone. There's no chance for a fumble return for a TD, that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit more basic, and may provide a little bit more quote-unquote realistic scores, just because as soon as you begin to introduce choice into the game, you begin to introduce whole new realities, right? What would this team do in this situation? But it feels a little bit more like you're playing the game with this advanced chart. So it kind of depends on what you want to do with your replay, but I thought kind of fun to go back through and do a what if with a great team. What if we had to make choices, on the fly, or things, crazy things happen inside the game, or that you get hemmed in with certain situations. So just had to see how that will work. I did add an onside kick as well. So 2-5 goes to the kicking team, 6-20 goes to the receiving team. So that was a request. If you have anything that you'd like to see go into the game, you can leave a comment in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can. It's click that subscribe button. You'll be notified of new videos when they get posted. And we're up to about 400 and over 440 subscribers now. So big thanks to everyone who has subscribed. And if you like this video, a really easy way to support what we're doing here is to give the video a thumbs up. Another easy way to support what we're doing is to go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and pick up a season or 2 or 10. And there's lots of different games. I think I have 6 or 7 actual published games. We have some games that are in beta right now, including AIG Baseball and AIG Basketball. I'm dripping out seasons as we go along, which is NBA basketball game, super easy to play. And AIG Hockey, AIG Golf, AIG Soccer, that's in beta. You can download it for free. So you can see some of our beta games by going to the free section on the site. If you click on the big green button at the top or in the menu on a mobile phone, click on Shop All Games, and then in the filters, just click on free, and then you'll be able to see some of our free downloads for demos, for betas, for games that are not quite ready yet for publication. You still have the opportunity to play them and give feedback. Maybe there are things that could be done better, things that could be changed. What do you love about the game? What do you hate about the game? Where do you get stuck, playing? I keep getting stuck in this spot here. Maybe we can smooth it out. And then those will be out soon. And then there are other free demos for games you can try, including Play Action Football, which is a super fun full play football game. You can find more videos for that here on the YouTube channel as well. All right, baseball season's over, so I'll begin working on precision baseball. On-base baseball is probably going to be first. Precision baseball takes a little bit more time and effort, but on-base baseball is a little bit quicker to produce a season. And I will also create the on-base pocket edition cards. So be looking for those. Maybe I can get it done before the postseason is over. The first round started last night, and congrats to the Cubs and the Dodgers and the Sox and Detroit. Derek School, it's unbelievable, man. With a 2-1 victory on the road against the team that had caught them. They were up by like 10 games, 12 games, something like that, and then just had a September collapse to rival any that I've ever seen. And not quite like the Mets, but had a huge September collapse, and they are now being forced in the first round to face the team that caught them. And they had a terrific game from Tarek Skubal, who was, he and Crochet, right, they were on the mound, 2 best pitchers probably in baseball, and they were lights out. Max Fried pitched well, but got an L for the Yankees, and that's exactly why they got him, but bullpen gave it up against the Sox, and Crochet just strong. Man, he's strong. Anyway, love baseball, and this is a great time of year. Everything's coming together. The Cubs won at Wrigley Field yesterday, and had another terrific game, pitching performance for them as well. And we'll see how this first round turns out for them. But again, I will be working on-base baseball, which is sort of the flagship game for us. And it's a sabermetric-based tabletop baseball game, sort of akin to if you mashed up APA and Strat. You kind of get on-base baseball, sort of an old school dice rolling, sabermetrically based tabletop game. So you play based off stats, but you're rolling dice, and you can get you'll get cards with the season, but you'll also get a roster sheet. So if you prefer to just sort of transfer the data over to a score sheet, you can play right off the score sheet with just a single game engine chart. Or you can, the game engine chart is on everybody's card, so you can play with that too. You've probably heard lots about on-base baseball if you've been on Facebook or on the Delphi forums, but try it out for yourself. You can actually download the entire 1941 Major League season free of charge. Just play an entire season if you want to. That's a terrific season for if you're a Yankee fan or a Red Sox fan. I think that was a big year for them. But you can download that season and play it out fully all the way. It's free for you to have. And we consider that sort of the demo season for on-base baseball. So give that a try and see how you like it. And if you like it, we have lots of seasons available for on-base and always creating more. We have a pocket edition, which is a printed edition that you can just purchase and print on demand and have it sent to you. It's like the size of a deck of cards, and it comes in a deck of cards box. And you get you get up to 18 batters and you get up to 18 pitchers for every team. And then the game engine is printed on individual cards. So you just kind of play with that. You can learn more about that in the On-Base Baseball playlist. And I've got a video in there, sort of how to take On-Base Baseball Pocket Edition from, okay, I got it in the mail, to let's play a game. So it shows you how to go through everything on that. And then Precision Baseball is a much more detailed, highly detailed, akin to Ballpark Baseball or Diamond Mine, Pursue the Pennant. So it's in that same vein. Very detailed, lots going on there. 3 D10 dice for a 1 to 1,000 roll, so highly statistically accurate, and also based on sabermetrics and player performance, but lots of different goodies, especially in the defense and the sort of the extra features, base running, ballpark effects, that kind of stuff. So it's very highly detailed. So you can check that out. All right. I think that's it from here. Miami goes 2-1 in their first 3, and that's a murderer's row. So at home against number 20 Florida, on the road against number 10 Arkansas, and on the road against number 4 FSU as they come out with a win. In Tallahassee, as they go up north, and they win by 5. Again, they won that game by 1. I think the actual score is 26-25, something like that. So that was a pretty close game in what you would expect. All right, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section. Otherwise, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and that will help us a lot. And stay tuned for more from this game. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.